Hello guys, welcome back to another reaction video here on Our Eyes Your Eyes. I'm ready to watch episode 5 of Baraou no Souretsu, or Requiem of the Rose King. But before starting this video, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, leave a like to support me, and join me in this great adventure. Okay, in the previous episode we saw that Harry could meet Richard, but the problem is that right now somebody wants to kill him. Are you ready to join me with this? Check it out. Not yet. He doesn't understand. Yeah, in this case he's good because he wants to go against this, but... And Elizabeth is so happy for this. Oh! Hey, in fact, because you don't love him. Richard. Oh, they married officially. I mean, yes, now Elizabeth is the queen. Oh, what the F. Ah! This reminds me of the Rose of Versailles. Madame du Barry versus Marie Antoinette. Ah. Nah. Yeah, I think so. Richard is forced to say yes, but I think that one day Richard will say the contrary. Exactly. Ah, he is the Duke of Buckingham. Ah, okay. Does he understand that she's a woman? And no, you think wrongly, because France was so strong at that time. Let's be ready for another war. And now France is tricking Warwick. I mean, he's trying to manipulate his thoughts. Oh no, Warwick, you preferred to listen to what the French king said? This is true. No, again, the forest, no! No, what the F, so this Duke of Buckingham is trying to manipulate Richard too, by installing in his mind some thoughts regarding becoming the king, yeah. Oh, come on, Richard, you're better than others. No, 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 it's like there's no love for me. There is. Look at these dark birds going around him, that's really great. Oh no, condemned by these thoughts. Ah. It was better if Harry could have stayed with her. Oh no, Harry. Let's hope you're still alive. But when he does, he will become a beast. No, he will know about this anyway. I'm pretty sure. Ah no, I thought that she was listening. Oh no, don't tell me that now Warwick goes against Edward by calling him the king. Oh! I expected this. It's the only way to avoid the war with the France, I guess. Oh! No, especially Anne, I mean, that's a great gift for her, but no, somebody needs to tell Richard what happened to Harry. Please, Anne, if you get in touch with this info, tell her. Richard, you're beautiful as you are. Yes, remember what Harry told you. No. Other people are deluding you, I guess. Ma, Jean d'Arc. Oh, no. No. This is a mess. No, he protected it. I mean, she protected it. Richard. Oh, she accepted because she understands that she's a pure girl. I mean, she doesn't want to go against him, her. Oh no, don't tell me she's going to fall in love with her. Okay. Hey, it's the two of them. You're the same as Richard, actually. Eva Warwick was pretty awesome to tell her about the horrors of war. Because it was a way to protect her. Yes, as I was telling you, she's admiring her because it's different. Okay. No, okay. She can't be in love with Anne, but she can become a great friend of her. Okay. But Anne loves her. Oh my, look. Oh, this frame is amazing. Yeah, because at that time, those were the main arguments. I mean, the main discussions. At this point, I don't think so. Isabel. Yeah, you just wanted to put him on the throne because you can become the queen, huh? George! Oh, that's her father, eh? Uh, what? Warwick already planned everything. At this country, uh, he already planned what to do. I think he wants to kill Edward at this point. Because by killing him, there was the excuse that we need another king immediately after, so... Anyway, I like I like Harry, but I really like her too. Because she's so innocent. Okay. Maybe she's going to discover that she's a woman. But I like them too. It's so hard for me. Yeah. Oh, this is great. I told you. Oh! Oh! And I think she's going to explode inside. But she's there protecting her and taking care of her. Oh, this is so lovely. I like this story and how romantic it is. Hey, you can still try again. See? Okay. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look. And anyway. Oh! Technically. And no, she doesn't know because she was always instructed to be a man. Yeah, because she is experiencing some new stuff. Oh my, look! No, Richard, no. Ah! No, 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 look, I still hope for a happy ending instead. Oh, okay. He needs a Richard at this point. See? I don't think so. I mean, she still feels hot here, so... Oh no, Warwick, stop it! This was something bad. Oh no 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 no! She's different from others. No, yeah, but she wanted to marry her in a different way, by being spontaneous, not because you told her. Oh, no, 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 don't come and listen. No, no, don't listen, Richard, don't come in here, okay? Yes. Yes. But now he's going... Oh, good job! Yes! No, Warwick! No, no, it's different! No! That's good! No, in a different way, Richard, no! No! Oh, no, what the F? No. Eh! Exactly, but you should have said it. Look, this is like a typical shoujo. Oh, really? Oh, Warwick, you're so terrible. No, you are not the kingmaker anymore at this point. Already? That was fast. No, what the F? But is she pregnant for real? Oh, what a mess. Okay, she is pregnant. I thought that she was just faking by being so. No, Richard! No! No, 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 no! Anna is... No! No, no, for one time she couldn't be... She could be so happy, no. I really want to say that I love this couple too. Look, last week I was saying that I loved the couple between Richard and Harry, but in this episode I can really see the difference. I can see that there is a special bond between the two, and that doesn't mean that it has to be the love we all know between a man and a woman, or between the two women, between two men. I mean, it's something that is sexualized, okay? This love, this bond is a little bit particular and different. And I think that Richard already explained us the beautiful relationship that he or she was starting with her. And I really liked the way in which it was described, all this, because once again we see a character like Anne, who is innocent, who is spontaneous, who is the reincarnation of pureness. And this is something that Richard could find in Harry too, but in a different way. Anne is not a warrior, Anne is not supposed to become a queen. Anne is a girl who is spontaneous and likes life. A girl who really wants to create something important, but she doesn't want to be involved in war. I mean, even if she had that instinct at the beginning, once she was stopped by her father, she understood that the horrors of war are so painful and it's better to be detached from them. So I really liked Warwick when he was saying something like this to her, because of course nobody wants to put his daughter in danger, but at the same time I really liked the fact that Anne was the only one touching Richard's soul in a different way, by being innocent, by creating this tender, soft, and calm atmosphere around them. And Richard could find a light at the end of the tunnel. Usually, Richard says that he's surrounded by darkness, that he can't avoid his destiny, that he is ready to be surrounded by it. But at the same time, Anne was the only hope he or she had, in order to confirm the contrary. Because, as he also was saying, he or she has never experienced something like this. This was the first time in which she could get in touch with a woman who was not rude to her, who was not trying to impose her presence on her, who was trying to change her for what she was or what she was supposed to be. Anne is totally different from her mom, definitely. A mom who has never respected her for what she was, a mother who saw her as an omen throughout all her existence. So, as you can see, Anne was playing a great role as a woman. And in fact, even Richard is saying Anne is a different woman. Anne is different from all the others. Yes, she is. And I'm so sorry when Richard could hear just a few sentences that they were put in the wrong context, because this happens so many times in other stories in which the person who's going to hear everything behind the door is he or she is going to hear just the main sentence that is going to create a strange and different image from reality. And in fact, right now Richard thinks that Anne doesn't love him or her, but she just wants to have a normal relationship, and at the same time she could hear the plan of Warwick, because he was installing inside his daughter's brain the fact that she had to turn all this bond into a sexualized relationship in which the only purpose was to become the queen and be on the throne. So Warwick could have had even more power than before. So all these stuff are simply disgusting. But if we go back centuries ago, it was like this. I mean, a marriage, they were planned already. You couldn't rebel. And if you did something like that, you were dethroned immediately, and the next daughter or son was going on the throne, because the most important thing it was that these people going all around the crown were just used for other people's purposes, or thanks to other people's purposes, because there were always malicious intentions behind these decisions. Warwick was saying it at the beginning of the episode that they couldn't choose anything because everything was already written. And in fact, there was even this position of the kingmaker that is simply disgusting, because this person is going to decide who has to marry with whom and when, how, where, etc., etc. So the fact that Edward could go against all these plans that Warwick had was amazing for some point of view, because Edward decided to praise love, but at the same time, even Edward is too innocent. He already thinks and really thinks that Elizabeth loves him when we already know what she wants to do. So I think that Edward will pay for his decisions, but the good intentions of Edward were simply great, because he preferred to follow his feelings and his instincts instead of everything that was already written by somebody else. So I appreciated that side of Edward, but at the same time, come on, you're the king, so you should understand that something might go wrong, and you should see the kingdom in a different way, not just as so beautiful as it seems. But you should understand that some people around you can mark their territories, and they can harm you, they can be ready to kill you, because that's how it was. I mean, centuries ago, the position of the king was really dangerous, actually, even if it was so powerful. Everybody had to take care of the king's health, and they had to be sure that nothing was supposed to happen, or that somebody was supposed to betray him, this could regard the king, but also the queen. So I really think that that was the main problem at that time, that the figure of the king could seem dangerous and hostile, but at the same time, he as a figure was in a dangerous situation everyday life, because he couldn't understand if he could have been poisoned, he could have been killed, there was a betrayal, there was a coup d'etat, and all this stuff. So the position of the king was definitely a hard position to handle. I think that Warwick was maleficent, because even if he was the kingmaker and he wanted to protect this kingdom that Edward's father could grant or could build throughout the years, at the same time, all the things that he's planning are simply disgusting nowadays, but as I told you, many centuries ago it was totally normal. And at the same time, I like the fact that they are showing us this, because this is pretty realistic. This is what happened many centuries ago. So I don't want to complain about the choice of the author, because it's pretty realistic, and you know that I like to find realistic things on stories like these. At the beginning of the episode, when Warwick was talking with the family member of Elizabeth, and he was pretending not to know him, this, as I was telling you during the reaction, it reminds me of Madame du Barry against Marie Antoinette in the Rose of Versailles, because even in that case, she wanted to be recognized by the queen in front of everybody, because that was such a great thing that could have happened to her. Also because, yeah, in the Rose of Versailles, Madame du Barry was the mistress of Louis XV, but at the same time, she really wanted a lot of power, and if she could have been recognized by the new queen that was supposed to come, that means Queen Marie Antoinette, in that case, she could have had a higher level in this noble society. But Marie Antoinette didn't make it, didn't want to even say hello to her, and this could create something really terrible for her personal image. So what happens here at the beginning of the episode is almost the same, because this family member of Elizabeth, who's trying to corrupt the kingdom, who's trying to have a baby, to kill Edward for what they did to the Lancastrians. I mean, she has a great plan in her mind, but it's pretty mischievous. So there's a family member who really wants to be recognized by the kingmaker and have his personal revenge by being acknowledged, or by being praised, or by being named in front of everyone, was the goal of everyone, actually, who was living inside a kingdom or inside a castle, inside a palace and stuff like this. And the fact that Warwick said that he didn't know him, that was something crazy, especially from the point of view of this Elizabeth's family member, because that meant to be dishonored in front of everyone. And people could have started talking more and more, spreading fake news, spreading these rumors about Elizabeth, that they were becoming even greater and greater the more she was going on with her becoming the queen. So everything was just a consequence of actions, and if you know this, the bad reputation on court was something that was simply crazy and insane, because you shouldn't be disrespected by the queen or the king, otherwise all these people could have say something bad about you, and your reputation was falling apart. So this was really interesting too, because you understood how these things were going on many centuries ago, and how difficult it was to save your reputations from these bad rumors about you, how it was difficult to survive inside a court. Another thing I want to say, going back to Richard and Anne, is that I really liked that frame in which we see that they are outside and they are trying to spend time together, and you see that Anne is trying to touch Richard's hand, but Anne's hand is so pure and it's so clear, so beautiful, while Richard's hand, it seems like the hand of a monster, the hand of a demon. This was really nice, because as I was telling you before, Richard has always considered himself a omen or a demon because of what other people told him or her that she or he was. And the result was that Richard was definitely believing in everything his mother or the rest of the people were saying about him or her. So the fact that he could finally touch this beauty, this enthusiasm, this innocence that is embodied by Anne, it's so beautiful, because it seems that even the monster, by touching this pure hand of Anne, can turn into something beautiful. And this was another side of the journey of Richard's feelings that was really important, because even if Jeanne d'Arc inside his or her mind is still trying to corrupt her feelings or her thoughts by saying that you can't be loved, you can't be appreciated, everything will turn into something bad, there will not be a happy ending. This is a reflection of the consciousness of Richard, because Richard is basing everything on what he or she has heard before, while in this episode he or she is able to experience things that she has never experienced or she was not supposed to experience because of everything that people said before about her. She was supposed to be a man, she was supposed to be a warrior, she was supposed to be the person who couldn't get in touch with these sort of feelings. But I really like that, yeah, Anne is representing a role of a woman that is peaceful, that is non-malevolent, that can help Richard to find her woman's side, because even if Richard keeps denying this, she's not a man, she's a woman. And even if she has behaved throughout all her existence like a man, at the end of the day, the more she keeps denying who she is, the more she will not be able to go at the end of the tunnel. So I think that Anne is really essential, but right now that she thinks that she was betrayed by Anne, or she had a sort of a vision that was corrupting her mind because of what she had heard, now she's going back to that forest. Now she's going back to darkness. And I really liked even the setting in that scene, because you see that when Richard is trying to use the sword in order to split the ice into multiple parts, and Richard herself is falling inside as if she's drowning. Yeah, this reminds me, yeah, we saw it yesterday, but this reminds me of Ymir, because as soon as she was feeling lots of pain and things like this, then she could find another sort of darkness. So even Richard here in this case, she thought something really beautiful about Anne. She thought that finally she could find a light of hope, and what Anne can let her feel is something really different from what she can feel with Harry, because Harry is turbulence, Harry is mixed feelings, Harry is confusion, and Harry is even this sort of a relationship that can be sexualized somehow. So this attraction, these feelings that she's having for Harry are so tempting her that she doesn't want to admit that she loves him. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that when she will discover that Harry was almost killed and was confined somewhere else, etc., 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 she will become a beast, and in that moment she will be able to reveal her own feelings, and she will be able to admit them, as much as what happened with Oscar in The Rose of Versailles, that when she saw that André was about to die over there, she thought, oh wow, look, I'm losing the love of my life. And I think that this will happen the same here. But at the same time, I really liked even the relationship, yeah, she had with Anne. I think that she really needs a person who wants to detach her from all these bad thoughts she has. And Anne, I hope she will find a way to confirm her that what she heard was totally wrong, that she didn't hear even the rest of the conversation. So I really hope that now Richard is not going to push her away just because of what she heard, but she's trying to listen to her, because if she's going to avoid Anne too, I think that, yeah, her real kingdom will be pure darkness. But I don't think that that's how it's supposed to be. I think that Richard will find a way no matter the consciousness, no matter Jeanne d'Arc who's trying to install in her mind all this bad stuff, no matter the things that she's thinking about Harry. I mean, right now, Richard feels as if every time she's getting in touch with somebody, she is the problem of everything. She is the person who is imagining everything. She is the culprit of all this situation. She is used, and even these thoughts that she's having about Anne are turning upside down, because before she was thinking that Anne was a different woman from all the others, but now she's confirming to herself that she's not so different from others. I mean, all these mixed feelings that are confusing Richard so much. And right now she's in a hard situation because she feels completely alone. Also because Harry's not there and she feels betrayed by her. She heard even Warwick's plan, in which, of course, he wants that his daughter is becoming the queen by sexualizing this relationship with Richard. And of course, her dad died too, so she is completely alone. You see how red these tones of colors are around her, as much as you see all of these a representation of loneliness and of darkness that is surrounding her, that I really like it. I think that Richard right now feels as if she's drowning because she's alone. Nobody's trying to help her. Nobody's trying to rescue her. She can't even count on her brother George, for example, because, I open a bracket, even George, he's in a hard situation because he is really kind. And he really wants to be involved in other stuff that seem to be more important or more difficult for him to be understood, but he really wants to be part of this family. He really wants to be active. But the problem here is Isabel, because Isabel, no matter if she is Anne's sister, she's totally different. She wants to corrupt George. She wants to stay next to George. She wants to force this relationship so she can become the queen. And yeah, she's the real daughter of Warwick at this point, because Anne, she's totally different. And I really liked when Anne decided to betray her father. I mean, when she decided to force her thoughts on him and she was deciding what to do. I really liked that moment because Anne for the first time could rebel, and she understood that Warwick decided to introduce his daughters not because he was proud of them, but because it was a search of a power, because by introducing these daughters to the new future kings or princes of the House of York, he could regain this power he had, or he could perpetrate the power he already had. So you see this bad thing of a power that is consuming people, that is tricking people by gaining more and more without hesitating, even by going against their own families and principles, moral values. I mean, this story is so great for all this stuff, because no matter if it seems to be just the simple story of these kings and queens or this battle between the Yorker and the Lancastrians, but at the same time, even in this story, you find great symbolisms, you find great messages that the author wants to convey, and it's pretty historical, so it's realistic because it really happened. I definitely approve of this story. Another thing I wanted to say is that, as I was telling you in the previous episode, I wanted to praise definitely the tones of colors. I wanted to praise this gloomy atmosphere that is surrounding the characters. I really appreciate the difference in the face of Richard when he or she is getting in touch with different characters that can illuminate her, that can create this sort of light no matter if she's wearing dark clothes. and especially the moment in which she was touching in which her body was touching Anne's body. In that moment, these mixed feelings of confusion, happiness, pureness, high level of emotions, as if Richard was on a roller coaster, because she has never experienced this. So even these frames in which you see the first times of Richard, it's so beautiful. If we compare all these first times of this episode with the episode with Harry, they are a little bit different. But at the same time, I think both of them, Anne and Harry, are the light for Richard. But we still need to understand if Richard feels love for Anne, or it's just a pure love of a friendship, best friends. While for Harry, I still believe that that's attraction. That's as if Harry and Richard are like magnets, and they attract each other. While with Anne, I find it more peaceful, I find it purer. I found it as if it's like Richard could go back when he was a child, and he or she was also pretty innocent. So this research of innocence versus the experience she is confronting, and the way in which she's getting in touch with the reality she could perceive, but that's not the reality of all. This is a great theme of English literature. I told you many times already. Innocence versus experience was a great period, a great subject, a great literature movement in England in those centuries. I really like when also these authors are going back, or they are getting inspired by English literature and by European literatures, because they can extend these topics in a different way. Definitely it was a great choice. But also this theme of reality versus your reality, because one thing is the truth that is objective and can't be modified, and another thing is what you perceive as reality. And in fact, Richard thought that what she heard between Warwick and Anne was the truth, was what she could hear for real, and she could take it for granted. But this is not the truth, the real one. Because if she could only listen to the rest of the conversation, and if she could have listened to what Anne's heart was speaking, then things would have been different. But let's see what's going to happen definitely with the next episode, episode 6. Let's see if Edward can understand that Elizabeth now, she is pregnant, and she really wants this kid, because thanks to him or her, she can become the queen, or she can be there by having a higher position of decisions and all these things. So Edward, I hope you will understand that you're just used for other people's purposes, and you were just tricked thanks to fake emotions. So Edward, you should wake up and understand when people are going to trick you or not. As much as I can't wait to see if Richard is going to go against this marriage, by revealing what he really knows, and by revealing also the fact that in her opinion, Elizabeth is not something good. Another thing that I hope to see is if Anne can solve the situation with Richard. And at this point, I wanted to see if Richard wants to become the king and wants to try to destroy everything around him or her, because she or he is pretty tired of all this situation. I really liked, last but not least, even that frame in which you see that Richard, by staying on top of the castle, he or she is looking outside, and he or she is surrounded by these dark crows, and she is creating these sort of wings of a black angel that is something really dark, really devilish. But at the same time, she's still getting in touch, mentally speaking, with her father. Her father, who is imposing her, thanks to these thoughts, that she has to go back, she has to pursue the goal to fulfill her father's goals too, that she has to perpetrate this sort of kingdom. I mean, she feels tired of her existence because she can't stand all the people around her. She can't stand the kingdom and how it's becoming. She can't stand that she is feeling alone, completely alone. She can't stand that she can't trust other people, even if she should, actually. And she can't stand herself anymore because every time is a contrast, every time is an opposite.